Moab is definitely one of the most famous parts of Utah's eastern desert, but it is no food desert, friends. This week on Taste Utah, we're celebrating the best kind of love story. One that starts with two outdoor enthusiasts who both love food, fall in love with each other, and then want to share that love with the entire community. Enter Love Muffin Cafe, an ingredient-driven destination for breakfast and lunch in Moab. It's restaurants like the Love Muffin that make it possible for Youth Garden Project, an urban farm, to showcase the phenomenal produce that they're carrying just a couple of blocks away. YGP is committed to educating folks of all ages about growing their own food, as well as creating a haven where you can come and learn about farming. Maybe pull up a gigantic chair and stay a while. Behind every good food story is a great people story. Taste Utah brings you the faces behind our local flavors, from soil and seeds to the variety of our authentically Utah restaurants. The views along the way, they're not bad either. Food is a necessity. It's how we create it, craft it, and experience it together that truly connects Utah's restaurant community. The secret to our sauce is simple. It's our farmers, artisans, chefs, restaurateurs, and hospitality professionals that make Utah a dining destination. You always have a seat at this table.
We're in Moab, we're on Main Street, and I'm so excited to take you to the Love Muffin Cafe. All of this glorious food is infused with love and intention. We're gonna go in and enjoy some food. Wes.
Katy, you made it.
I love Muffin Cafe. It's literally on my must stop every time I come down to Moab, and I can't wait to sit with you and number one, eat some of your amazing food, but just learn more about your story.
I got a table over here for us. We can sit down and have a bite.
Let's do it.
All right.
All of the food that I know and love from Love Muffin, it all looks so delicious. Will you tell us what you've placed in front of us?
Sure. What you have in front of you is what we call the Shockable. It's kind of a seasonal menu item. We just kind of take in whatever we can get from the farmers at the time.
Nice.
We have spinach from Early Morning Orchard, which is located just over in Colorado, just across the border. Got a little bit of feta cheese and some local corn. It's fun doing that too. We kind of surprise some of our local customers when they come in, and there's something new that pops into the bowl, just depending on what's available. And then it's finished off with our doña sauce, which is just a simple jalapeno vinaigrette.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it does have a little bit of a kick.
Okay, good. We like a little heat,
Yeah.
What do you have in front of you?
So this is one of our classic dishes that is one of my favorites, called the verde plate. It's on a pile of roasted potatoes that we do. It comes with some cheddar cheese, a little bit of hatch green chili verde sauce that we make.
Yum.
A little bit of scrambled eggs, and then we roast brisket every day.
Roast it
Yeah.
here in house.
Yeah, it takes like 10 to 12 hours to roast it.
Wow.
And we just throw a little bit of seasoning on it, and it's on a few of our plates. So
Yeah.
it's kind of my favorite.
People rave about the brisket. I mean, absolutely rave about it.
And then we finish it with a little bit of pico de gallo.
Yum.
Usually that's local. We have local cilantro, onions, tomatoes when they're
Beautiful.
available.
So you're making the pico in-house.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is the breakfast burrito.
Yeah, so I kind of made you a crazy one here. This is kind of Asian inspired. So we have kimchi.
Okay.
It's just a quick kimchi. We don't actually ferment it. We just throw it together.
But you're making it.
Yeah, and we throw it in the fridge.
Nice.
So it's considered a quick kimchi.
I love that.
But it's a popular one, kind of a sleeper on the menu. So it's called the Rooster.
The rooster.
Yeah, so it has the kimchi, some scrambled eggs, a little bit of cheddar cheese, and then it has what we call a rooster sauce.
Okay.
And that rooster sauce is kind of comparable to sriracha mayo.
Ooh, some nice little heat in that as well.
And so we make that from scratch.
And then you do lunch.
Moving on to our lunch. Lunch is really popular. We serve lunch all day. We make all of our bread in-house. This is focaccia
That's beautiful.
that my wife came up with and made.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's her own recipe. This is the Vesuvio,
Vesuvio?
it's called.
You see a little Italian like salami or something?
Yeah, so it has Italian salami on there. One of the kind of interesting things that we do is we roast our turkey breast in-house, and then instead of slicing the turkey, we just pull it apart in chunks. It has a sweet hot mustard that we make here. And then it has Monterey cheese, tomato.
We have to talk about beverages because I would say when you're looking for good coffee in Moab, you come to love Muffin. You come for the food, but the coffee draws you as well.
Yeah, we kind of take the coffee pretty seriously. Done with coffee roasting out of Idaho.
Yeah.
They're actually some friends of ours. You know, everything's fair trade. They have a co-op that they use to source the coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a big group of them that work really hard to take care of the farmers. And so it shows in the cup.
You can taste love in food as much as you can taste any of the ingredients.
Right,
A little extra love is like a little extra sprinkle of salt.
Yeah.
And your Love Muffin Cafe, was that like where did the name come from?
You know, my wife had been doing some catering on the side.
Okay.
She's kind of worked in cafes most of her life.
All right.
She was kind of signing on her invoices Love Muffin just for fun.
Oh, cute.
And one of my buddies and I talked her into going with the name. She didn't want to name it that, but yeah, we convinced her to do it because we thought it was pretty cute. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, there wasn't too many Love Muffin cafes around, so we jumped on it.
I feel like love as a construct or just as an energy in life amplifies anything it touches. It amplifies any relationship you have. It amplifies any relationship, whether that's person or food or place. And so I feel like having that in the title of your restaurant, it amplifies the experience that you have here. And even your logo is this cute heart.
Yeah.
You do these amazing pastries. Are you making them in-house? What's the story about the pastries?
Yeah, so my wife, amazing baker, she comes up with the whole menu. Penelope, she also makes cookies, which I think are some of the best cookies I've ever had.
I mean...
just chocolate chip, but she goes crazy with it.
Originally, Wes, are you a Moab local?
I grew up in New Mexico originally. Yeah.
Thus the Hatch chilies?
That's where the chilies come from.
They grow in your heart here in New
for
Mexico,
sure.
right?
It's in your blood. Like you can't get away from it. But yeah, I grew up in New Mexico, and then I was a big mountain biker back in the day, and I always wanted to come to Moab. So
adventure drew you here.
I did. I packed up my stuff and camped out in the desert for a couple weeks. Worked in the bike shops for quite a few years, and then I met Penelope, and that's when we decided to open. So,
I love it. And is Penelope a Moab local?
She grew up in North Ogden.
North Ogden,
yeah, so
okay.
She's a Utah girl.
I love that.
But she was kind of a dirtbag climber.
Okay.
And she came down here to climb. And so she was climbing, I was mountain biking, and then we met somewhere in the middle there.
I mean, this conversation has just been so enriching, and I just want to say thank you. Like, thank you on behalf of Utahns and everyone who travels down to Moab to be able to have this quality and caliber of food, and then also to offer the canvas for farmers. There is a whole community of restaurants now that gobble up this food for the community. You know, these chefs are like, I can't get enough of this from Easy Bee and from Youth Garden Project and from all over the state. We're all in it together. You know, we need to support our agriculture champions. Otherwise, you know, we don't have that. I could sit here and talk to you for hours. I could eat your food for hours, but what I really love to do, and one of my most favorite things, is to actually cook something with you.
Awesome.
So would that be possible?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Wes, we are in the kitchen. My dream is coming true. What are you making for us?
We're gonna make your favorite, huevos rancheros.
Yes, okay, I was hoping that this would be the case. I am so excited. So where do we start?
Well, we're gonna get your eggs started. Get this pan a little bit hot.
Love that.
Maybe a little too hot. Give it a second here.
Okay.
And you're gonna go over
I'm gonna
easy.
calm down.
You're gonna go over easy, right?
Yeah, I love a nice runny yolk.
Nice.
It's like you're reading my mind here. It is wonderful.
Gotta have a corn tortilla.
Yeah, and if you're gonna have a corn tortilla, it's gotta be heated up, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that on the
Throw it down on the flat top.
And let those eggs cook a little bit.
Yeah.
And put just a little bit of salt on there. Yeah, and so this is definitely one of my favorite huevos. I could eat it every morning.
Yeah, as I said, I just like huevos rancheros, key to my heart. I always look on a menu, either breakfast burrito or huevos.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a both and here for me often. It's like, I'll take the burrito to go, I'll start with the huevos.
There you go. And then we're just gonna start plating this thing. So we got potatoes on the bottom.
Okay, potatoes on the bottom, love that.
And then we're gonna do a little bit of cheddar.
Cheddar makes everything better.
We're gonna get that'll melt a little bit when we get everything on there.
Yeah, nice and
Got
hot.
the tortilla on there.
I love that. So it's the heat that's gonna melt the cheese. Yeah, look at those beautiful black beans.
We got some black beans. I'm gonna put over there.
Looks like tomatoes.
A little bit of tomato and onion in there.
Onion, yum.
And then I do the egg over the top.
2 eggs over the top. I'm like salivating. I'm so excited.
And then we have our red chili sauce that we made.
Oh, red chili sauce. And you're making all of these sauces in-house.
Yeah. And then I always do my signature, a little bit of green chili
Gotta
on
do the
top.
hatch green chilies. Those look like they're roasted. It is clear that everything that you're doing is true to your own intention, your internal compass, and I will say the community, food community in Utah is definitely a better place because you're in it. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
There's nothing else to do, but like I gotta find a fork and I gotta eat this thing.
Well, you're making me salivate.
We're down in Moab. It's the eastern desert of Utah, but one thing that Moab is not is a food desert because of places like Youth Garden Project, which is where we're at today. They're sourcing to restaurants, they're teaching kids, they're teaching the community how to truly nourish the ground so we can nourish our bodies. Let's go see what they're growing. Jess, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's like such a nice day. We've got some cloud cover, like there's been a little bit of rain, but we don't let it rain on our parade.
Exactly.
Give us a little lay of the land, a little breadth of the farm.
Absolutely. So we are a 1.5 acre functioning farm on school district property. So the Grand County High School is right behind us. We have lots of different kind of areas around here. We have an orchard with a bunch of fruit trees and our chickens. We have a couple of outdoor classroom spaces. So we have our sunken classroom, which is over here, and our greenhouse corner that we teach classes in. And then we have over 80 garden rows as well that we kind of rotate crops through every year, and 3 season extension structures as well. So we have our hoop house, our greenhouse, and then our grow dome. So all of those allow us to keep growing food year round.
That is so wonderful. Okay, cool. So let's go on a tour. Where should we start?
So I think that we can start over and kind of see some plants over here and head towards the greenhouse.
Let's check it out.
Awesome.
Okay. So this is the greenhouse.
Liz.
Yay, hello.
Hi.
Sarah, I presume?
Yes.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You're the resident farmer?
I farm. I'm the produce manager.
Okay. History, soil.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now tell us about the greenhouse. How old is it? What is it made of? What's going on in there?
Yeah, so this structure was one of the first that we had on site when we moved over to the high school property. So I believe around 2001 it was constructed, so over 20 years old at this point, and it is natural building. So Moab has a really large natural building community using, all straw bale and natural materials. There's actually a truth window inside that shows that it was straw bale. It's a little glass window.
In January, we start all of our onion seeds, followed by our peppers and tomatoes in here. And those are seeds both from the farm, or for the farm, and for our large annual plant sale.
Okay.
That we send all of those plants out into the community.
It's so cool.
And then in the fall, we do all of our fall starts in here. So lettuce, spinach, kales, and those will get us through into the winter. You know, in the spring, we have our potting mix that we buy, which has basically all of the nutrients it needs for 3 months.
Okay.
So the seeds get started right into that soil.
And they're like little mini pots, right?
Yep, so we have like these cells, like you can see in the greenhouse here.
Yeah.
So most of them have 128 cells, so you pop the seeds in those, take care of them every day. We come in and water, we get fans on them, get them nice and strong and hardy. And then for like our tomatoes and peppers, that'll be in there for longer than 3 months. We'll need to come in and just add a little bit more nutrient to that to get through until they go out into the garden.
So what is the care process like once they get into the field? In here, you're watering them every day. You're really, concentratedly caring for them.
Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things, because we do grow organically here, is pest management. So we go through and check at least once a week to try to control those problems before they get to the point where if we were a non-organic farm, we would have to spray for those. So just being really on those, aphids, we get squash bugs here. And then just kind of like looking at what the plants are doing throughout the season. If you're starting to see some yellowing, you may need more nitrogen fertilizer. We get a lot of deer here too, so kind of keeping the deer off of them.
Yeah, I just love it. And one of the things I actually really am enjoying about the farm right now is that it is alive. Like, it's hustly, it's bustly. We've got bees buzzing around us in the sunflowers. We've got little kid voices because you've got a farm tour going on. You know, we've got the caterpillar that is helping to support the community, and it just feels so alive. And then you have the CSA that's coming. So not only are you growing, and there's so much life here, but then you're inviting people to really kind of suck the marrow out of the farm and really be in the liveliness of it as well. I would love to go into one of these beds or fields and just see what you're growing and maybe taste something from the ground.
Yeah.
Would that be cool?
Yeah.
And Sarah,
absolutely.
you'll take me. Jesse will say thank you so much, and
Thank you, Jesse.
and we'll head into the unknown.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Lead the way,
Okay.
dear.
Yeah. This is a really exciting green that we started growing here last year. It's called Spigariello. It's an old Italian heirloom green. It is super hardy. It loves the heat. It loves the cold. It is very pest resistant. It's super deer resistant. This has been one of my favorite go-to greens to have on hand here because when all else fails, we have Spigariello.
I love
Yeah,
that.
and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so you can basically cook this up just like you would kale.
Okay.
These top tender greens are really nice for fresh eating.
Okay.
Some of the lower, larger leaves are great for sauteing. They hold up really well to high heat.
Okay.
So yeah.
A little thicker, more hardy.
Yep, so just like kale.
Can I get into one of them? Like
Absolutely,
this
yeah.
one?
So you want to go for these nice tender top ones.
Tender top ones. Okay. Right here, I get you.
Nice
Oh,
soft.
yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Like something like that?
Yep,
Okay, cool.
absolutely, yeah.
I am I'm a deer. I'm like a little bunny anytime I come into the garden farms. Oh, it smells really good too. It's almost like it almost smells a little sagey. Like how many different varieties of lettuce or greens like this in particular would you say that you grow here?
We grow about 5 to 6 hardy greens every year.
Okay.
So that'll include our Spigariello, our collard greens and kale, which we have over here.
Beautiful.
Our rainbow chard. And those are pretty much staples for us.
Yeah.
And then for our softer greens, we'll do, in the fall and spring, we'll do like a salad mix, lettuce. We do these sweet little heading lettuces called Little Gems.
Oh, Little Gems.
They're so good and buttery, yeah. And then spinach. So we kind of rotate those, but we definitely have kind of our staples that we grow every year.
Yeah. And then these are, you said this is kale and collards?
These are our collard greens, so
Okay.
these are going in our CSA today.
Love it. And then kale right here.
Yep, and then we've got some kale.
So beautiful. I mean, I love these stalks too. They grow up and out of the ground, and they're just so vibrant and full of life. Can I try it? I know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel like I should be charged for since you're going to be giving these to people today. But
we
can I
already
try
harvested, yeah.
Oh, so I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna grab. Can I grab a freshie?
Yep.
I just like these little ones. I mean, I could eat that whole
Nice and
leaf,
soft.
but yeah. And collards are so lovely, but they do you want them to be sautéed or warmed up a little bit. But like
cook them down for a long time. But yeah, these middle ones are nice
They're
and tender.
buttery, melt in your mouth. Still bitter, but they're still like that youth, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I
my
love
gosh.
it.
I mean, we could stand here and talk about this all day. I would love to see the orchard.
Yeah,
Can we go to the
absolutely,
orchard?
yeah.
I hear there are sunflowers in the
Yes,
orchard.
there's
Is that
so many
right?
sunflowers.
I
Yeah.
have a dream about standing in a field of sunflowers.
Yeah, let's go take a
Down
look.
the orchard. Okay. Sarah, so the orchard not only has magical sunflowers, tons of trees, but it has these little chickens. She's like, don't feed. Do you want it? No? Do you want some? Ooh. Now, how many chickens do you have?
We have about 20 chickens.
Okay.
On a
20
good day.
chickens. So you're getting eggs. How many eggs do you think you harvest?
We get about a dozen a day, so about 7 dozen per week.
Okay.
Yeah, these chickens were raised from tiny babies here and were held from day one by kids. And every summer they have chicken time at summer camp, so the kids come and pick up the chickens and just spend time in the orchard, running around. They got some free play in here. So yeah, they're very well acclimated to children, and we have kids in the space really often.
Oh, it's literally so special. And then what kind of trees? Tell me what you're growing in here.
So we've got peaches, apricots, we've got plums, apples, nectarines.
Wow.
We've even got a couple sweet cherry trees. And a lot of these trees were actually rescued from an early development over on the other side of town. So they were actually scooped up. There was an orchard over there and brought down here. And we've actually just been expanding every year with planting more and more fruit trees as these get a little bit older.
I mean, that's amazing. Everything that you are doing, I mean, it's the Youth Garden Project, but it really is a proper farm, and you are creating this really, really invaluable ecosystem where not only are you feeding people, like literally their bellies, but you are educating them as to where their food comes from. Because so often as consumers, and especially in the United States and big cities, you have urban farms and urban gardens and things like that, but you kind of forget how much work goes in to the eggs that you eat every day.
Yeah.
Or the apple that you buy at the grocery store. It's like, it's this amazing process, this beautiful synergy and harmony. I probably am gonna go maybe pick a sunflower, find a place to sit down and just like breathe it all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You are doing such extraordinary work. Just thank you so much.
Well, we're so lucky to have such great support from the community, and we have so many amazing volunteers that come here and put in so many hours of work to make this all possible, and we couldn't do it without them.